you doing? It's your boy BrogiNaric, back again with another review. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the sequel to the big hit Sonic the Hedgehog, which recently dropped this weekend and was directed by Jeff Fowler. Now, this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so you don't have to worry about that. So, Sonic the Hedgehog came out, I think, in 2020, and it was like one of the last big movies to come out in theaters before the pandemic really sort of shut things down. A lot of people loved it. I just recently saw it, 2 nights before I saw the sequel, but the first movie was fine. It's an alright kids movie. If I was a little kid, I would have loved the hell out of it. As an adult, I thought it was okay. But Jim Carrey was definitely carrying that thing on his back. And for the sequel, we got more Sonic characters. We got the introduction of Knuckles and Tails, two of my favorite Sonic characters. I've played most of the original Sega games. I didn't play most of the popular games. I know some of the other games kind of fell off. I like the idea of the character. I grew up with the 90s cartoon, both of the 90s cartoons. I've watched some of Sonic X. And those are the main things you really need to know. You need to know definitely the Sonic X cartoon, and you have to have a general idea of the Sonic video game. Other than that, you don't really need to know too much. And this movie definitely builds more on the Sonic lore, which I appreciated. The overall synopsis of the movie is Sonic is still he's now wanting to be more of like a superhero with his powers and save people, but he's kind of reckless. He's, still young and not knowing how to do things properly. So that's going on. Tom's wife's sister's getting married in Hawaii. Robotnik comes back from the Mushroom Kingdom, maybe? I don't know. The Mushroom World. He teams up with Knuckles. They're trying to track down Sonic because Knuckles has beef with Sonic. They're trying to track down this, what is it called? This big emerald, what is it? Not the Chaos Emerald, the Master Emerald. And Knuckles wants it for reasons. Robotnik wants it because he wants to use it for ultimate power. Sonic teams up with Tails. They work together to try to track it down, and of course it leads to a big fight between the two parties. And it was a fun film. I wasn't going in there expecting a lot, and I was entertained. So going into this, I was, excited to see where it would go next. I will say, in terms of my experience, it's been a while since I've seen a kids movie, so seeing a movie with a big crowd full of kids was interesting this time around. Had some popcorn and drink almost spilt on the back of me from some little kid dropping his stuff behind me. Luckily, it didn't get much on me, just like the top of my hoodie. There was a fight that almost happened in the theater that I was in. Thankfully, it was early on in the movie and not deep into the movie. It's probably the first 10 minutes of the film, so it didn't distract me too much. But I will say the families and the kids definitely enjoyed it, and that's who this movie is for. I overall thought it was a fine movie, and I would say I did enjoy this more than the first one. This movie does focus more on the Sonic stories and the Sonic characters. It kind of does the opposite of what they did with some of the Transformers movies, where they would try to give somewhat equal time to the human characters and the Transformers, I really just want to see the Transformers. This movie smartly does focus more on the Sonic characters and less on some of our human characters like Tom and Maddie. They do have their moment, but the majority of the movie does focus on Tails, Sonic, Knuckles, and Robotnik, which, those are your draws, so that makes sense. No one's here to see James Marsden, generic cop guy, so they rightfully made that decision. Now, there are some of those tropes, like family movie stuff, where they focus a little too much on either not good humor or there's a big, for some reason, comedy sequence that doesn't really add to the story. Like in the first movie where they're hanging out at that bar and they get into the fight, that didn't really add too much to the story, but it was just something to do. There is a moment like that where they go to another bar, but this time it's in Siberia, and it leads to this wacky dance-off, which will vary. I didn't love it. The parts of it, there was some funny moments in there, and it went on a little too long, but I get it was there to establish the friendship of Sonic and Tails, so I kind of let it slide, because at least it drove the story a little bit. I didn't think it needed to be there, but you could say that it did help further the bond between Sonic and Tails. Overall, the cast returning was really good. Jim Carrey is still the main standout in this as Robotnik. And he's even wackier in this one than he was in the first one, and slightly funnier too. He had his assistant to play off a little bit more, and he also had Knuckles to play off of, who was voiced by Idris Elba. He does a really good job as Knuckles. He's kind of like, if you remember what Drax was like in the Guardians of the Galaxy, especially the first movie, that's kind of how Knuckles is, where he's this very gifted warrior who's all about war and honor, but he doesn't quite understand the subtleties of human nature. So he's very literal in certain ways. Most of that stuff worked, like I said, especially with him and Robotnik playing off of each other, and his interactions with the other characters, Knuckles and Sonic, was very good as well. But I think he was a little goofier than I would have preferred, but he was fine. He was fine though. Colleen O'Shaughnessy back as Tails. Tails was great. Tails is like used to be my favorite. Knuckles is my favorite now, not currently, but like those are my two favorites. And she does a great job, seamless job as Knuckles. It's Tails. If you know the Tails character, she's the same Tails. Probably a little more earnest and sort of just hopeful, but like still, it's just Tails and stuff like that. Now, Ben Schwartz as Sonic, I didn't care for him as Sonic in the first movie. He's slightly better in this one, but it's more the same. He even does get some more of his sort of John Raphael style. Like if you remember him from Parks and Rec, where he would do the little singing stuff. He does a little bit of that as Sonic, so he's working to his strengths. And I do love Ben Schwartz. He's not my ideal Sonic, but he's fine. Rachel and Maddie, the two sisters, they get a good moments, even more moments than the first movie. But there's a good chunk of them when they're in Hawaii. Her character is getting married to this guy who's played by Shamar Moore. That stuff actually was work. That's some moments where she loses her shit and she goes crazy. I thought was really actually funny. Like funny stuff, but it's like the sad stuff with the humans was actually pretty entertaining. So they do get their moments. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. We're still growing and we can use your help. So thanks for doing that. And let's get back into the video. Now, one of the definite drawbacks I think to this film is it's too long. It's an hour and it's like 2 hours and 15 or 2 hours and 10. It didn't need to be that long. There was moments towards the end, and this is just me personally, where I was starting to doze off at the big fight. Because of course there's a big fight with robots because Robotnik is the villain. And I was kind of dozing off towards it because it's like, I get it. It's a robot, they're fighting it. Can we just wrap this up a little bit faster? There's some moments, like I said, the dance sequence, like they could have cut that. It could have been shorter, but by the end, they do certain things that you kind of know. If you know the Sonic lore, certain things you're gonna see, which some people might complain about, but it's like, I want to see those things because I'm a Sonic fan, so give me the Sonic stuff. Don't give me some stuff that I don't care about, so I'm fine with that. And there is a post-credits end scene. I don't know if there's an end credits scene, I didn't stick around that long, but there's a post-credit scene that's going to lead to the next movie. I'm excited to see that. It was funny when that moment happened and hearing all the little kids like losing their minds. They're like, oh, it's that character. That was kind of like, oh, that's nice to see that happen. But like I said, it's a solid film. If you love the first one, I think you're going to like this one, especially if you're a Sonic fan. I think you're going to like it even more because, like I said, it gets more into the Sonic lore. The special effects look a lot better in this one. I think they had more time as well. The voice acting was good. The acting was solid. You know what? The Wade character is kind of whatever. I don't really need him. And I like that guy, Adam Pally, the goofy cop. He had some moments. Like I said, the humans are kind of pulled back a little bit more, and I hope that continues in the next movie. So I would like to see other Sonic characters pop up, like Amy and Rouge, and big cat guy, the alligator guy. So, but overall, solid film. If you're a big Sonic fan, I think you'll love it. If you're a casual Sonic fan, I think you should enjoy it because, like I said, I'm a casual fan and I enjoyed it. So my overall grade for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 would be a B- or a 7 out of 10. Solid film. Like I said, much better than the first. If I was a little kid, I would give this a 20 out of 20. But as an adult, it was a fine kids movie. Definitely worth watching with the whole family or by yourself or whatever. But those are my thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned for more videos. Peace.